Hey guys, it's Rishi once again. Welcome back to Learn with Rishi, your ultimate destination for math education. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of Roman numerals. Now, Roman numerals are an ancient numeric system that still holds relevance in various fields today. Join me as we unravel the secrets behind this unique system and master the art of reading and writing Roman numerals. So, what are we going to be covering in segment 1? Well, we're going to be going through the basics of Roman numerals. So to kick things off, let's explore the symbols used in Roman numerals and their corresponding values. From I to M, each symbol represents and carries a specific meaning, and we'll decode the mystery behind them. So by the end of this video, you'll have a solid foundation in the fundamentals of Roman numerals. With that in mind, let's go ahead and dive into this right away. So there are two main rules that you need to know. One which states, put the letter after a larger one means you add it. So what that means here is, let's take this for an example. The I represents a 1 and the V represents a 5. Now, because we've put a smaller number after a larger one, we're going to add it together. So 5 plus 1 gives us 6. And let's take the second point, which is if you put a letter before a larger one, that means you take it away. So if you put a letter before a larger one, that means you take it away. So let's go ahead and take a look at an example that I've written down here. So we've gone ahead and we've put a smaller one before 10. So you can see I is 1 and X is 10. So by putting I in front of X, we now say 10 minus 1, which gives us 9. So feel free to pause the video, read through this, make some notes. But with that in mind, let's go ahead and dive into these set of questions. So we've got V, which is 5, and I, which represents 1 each. So that's 3. If we add that together, that gives us 8. Okay, question 2. We've got a smaller number in front of a larger number. So we'll go ahead and we'll subtract it. So that's 1 and that's 5. So 5 take away 1 gives us 4. And then with number 3, we've got X, which is 10, and 1, which is 2. We add that together, and that is 12. Again, feel free to pause the video, attempt these questions, and then press play, where we will then go through them. Okay, we've got 10 and we've got 5. 5 is smaller than 10, so we can add this together right away. Again, we have L and we have X. L being 50 and 10 being X, so we can add that together, and there we are. However, it's now swapped over. So we've got our 10 here and we have our 50 here, but because 50 is a larger one and that is after, we have to subtract. So that gives us 40. 50 take away 10. Okay, question 7. We've got 10 and IV, which is again 1 and 5. But because that is before that, we subtract. So that becomes 4. And then we can add it together. And there we have 14. And then for question 8, we've got 10, 5, 1 and 1, which is 2. Again, then we just break it up. So that altogether would give us 17. So now we're going to switch it over, and we're now going to write specific numbers in Roman numerals. Let's start with 13 then. So we know we're going to have 10, which is X, and then 1, 2, and 3, and that will be 13. And for 10, we'll have 2 X's, which represents 20, and then I and I, which represents 2. And so for 30, we can just put 3 X's, as each X represents 10. But for 12, are we going to put 4 X's? I don't think so. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take the letter L, which represents 50, and we're going to put the I in front of it. And what that means is because the smaller number is before the larger one, we subtract it, which means 50 minus 1. Okay, for 13, we'll have 20 and v for 5. And likewise for 101, we'll now get 100, which is c, and 1, and that just adds it on top of it. Okay, 15, we can have I and c. Again, that's a switch of the entire question that we covered in 14, so this is just the entire opposite. And then for 16, we'll have x and c, where x is 10, c is 100, and we just subtract it because the smaller number is in front of the larger. And there we are. So now that we've understood these symbols, let's move on to the practical side of Roman numerals. So whether it's a simple date, a complex numeral, we're going to break it down step by step, ensuring that you confidently interpret and express numbers in Roman numerals. Please remember that you can go back, pause the video, go back, rewatch this if you need to. Practice makes improvement, and that's all what we're after. Without further ado, let's jump into this set of exam-style questions that we have here. Marvelous. So, the number 5 in Roman numerals. So we know that's going to be v, as v equals 5. But then the number 8. So if v is 5, we can just have I, which is 3. And there we are. Okay. Here is a clock face with Roman numerals. Show the time 7:15. So we know 7 is a small hand. And then we'll take 15 as the large hand. And there we are. Okay, over to question 4. Here's a clock face with Roman numerals. What time is shown on the clock? So the best way to do this, if you need a bit more support, is just to put in our numbers. So now we know that. We know the smaller hand, it has gone past 3, but not past 4. So we then know that it's going to be 3. And it's pointing at 10, which is 50. So 350 would be our answer. Beautiful. Okay, and the number 11, again we'll have x and 1, where x equals 10 and 1 equals 1. Okay, question 6, the number 19. So we'll have x, which is 10, but then we'll have 1 and x, because that is your 9. So don't forget that, 9 and 10, and you add it. Okay, 7. Here is a number written in Roman numerals. Write the number in figures. Well, we know the smaller number, if it goes ahead of a bigger number, we subtract. So that is 4, because that's 1 and 5. So we have to subtract. Okay, question 8. X and x, we know is 20, because x represents 10. And then again, for question 9, we've got x, which is 10, v, which is 5, and these 3, which is 3. Add it together, and we get 18. Marvelous. Okay, question 10. So let's match these up. So we can go xii, which is 7. Or is it? It's definitely not. For those who clocked on, yes, it's actually 12. Because x is 10, x is not 5. Alrighty. We then have 16 as x is 10, that is 5, and that is 1. So we can add that together. VII is 7. And then finally, XIV is 14, and we are good to go. Beautiful work. Now, if you're still finding it challenging, or if you feel that you need a bit more practice, that is absolutely fine. The best things would be to perhaps write out the numbers on top of the letters. So for XII, we could write 10, 1, and 1, and that would help us to get 12. Marvelous. Let's go for question 11. So we now need to write them from the smallest to the largest. So again, before you do that, you can simply write maybe the values of them just underneath. And then you can simply do it from smallest to largest. So we know it's going to be I, V, X, L, and C. Beautiful. Okay, Daisy is reading a book and she is about to begin reading chapter XXIV. So what would that be in figures? Well, again, we know that's going to be 20 and we know IV is going to be 4. So we know that's 24. And write the number 38 in Roman numerals. So let's go for 30, which is 3 x's. And we'll go for 8, which is VIII. And we can put that all together. The box may be small, but there we are. That is all done. And likewise, let's do the number 52. So we know L is 50 and 2, and we put that together. And likewise, for 75, we can have 50 plus X, which is 60, and another X, which is 70, and V for 5, and we've got 75. But it won't be so challenging for 90, because we can simply just put XC, which means 100, take away 10. And that's only because the X is before the larger one. So that was one of the 2 main points that we had stated earlier on. Okay, question 17. Robert the Roman is XL years old, and that doesn't mean extra large. So again, we know L is 50 and X is 10, but because it's smaller and it's at the front, we subtract it, so we get 40 as our answer. Okay, 18. Let's do the same thing as what we did previously. We're going to put the numbers on top. And then we are going to go ahead and write these numbers from smallest to largest. So we have LV, III. And there we are. That should all be in order with 102 the largest and 58 the smallest. Beautiful. Okay, let's go for question 19. You guys have done really well coming this far, so keep it up. Remember, practice is only going to give you more power. It's very easy to give up, but keep it up. Okay, the New York Giants won Super Bowl XLVI. So what is that going to be in figures? Now, it looks like a big number, doesn't it? But let's see what we can do. We know X is 10, L is 50, and VI is 6. So is that going to be 66? I don't think so. Because the L is smaller and it's at the front, that automatically means a minus. So that becomes 40. And then we can go ahead and we can add the 6. So 46 is our answer. And now for question 20. Write the number 124 in Roman numerals. So let's go for 100. Let's go for 20. And let's go for 4. And that is our answer. Beautiful. And we'll do the same for 159, where C is 100, L is 50, and for 9, it's IX. Again, don't forget, because I is at the front of X, that just means 10 minus 1, which equals 9. Okay, question 22. The number's 315. So that means we'll have 3 C's, as that's 300, an X for 10, and V for 5. So altogether, that's 15. And for 23, 620, we're going to go for D, which is your 500, C, which is your 100, so that gives us 600, and then 2 X's for 20. So remember, D equals 500. And for 24, write the number in figures. So we have 100, we've got 3 X's, so that's 30, and we have 5, so that's 135. Okay, question 25. Remember, pause the video at any given time. So the number in figures, we've got 3 C's, so that's 300. We've got L, which is 50, and VI, which is 6. And for 26, DCCI. So we know D is 500, 2 C's are 200, and I is 1, so that is 701. And for question 27, we'll have C as 100, M as 1000, and XI as 11. So again, because 100 is in front of 1,000, we subtract this. So we're left with 911. And over to the final set of questions. At the end of a film, the year is given in Roman numerals. So write the year MMXVI. So if we know M is 1,000, that would give us 2,000. And if we know X is 10, and then VI is 6, 10 plus 6 is 16. So if you put that together, that's 2016. And the final question. The first Star Wars movie was released in 1977. Write that year in Roman numerals. So what we're going to do first is we're going to write 19. And that's seen as 1900. But how would we do that? Well, we'll write MCM. Because M is 1,000 and CM is 900. We're then going to take 77. How will we write 77? Well, we'll take L, which is 50, X and X, which is 20, so that gives us 70. And now for our 7, VII, and we can write that down as MCM LXXVII, and there we are. So congratulations! You've now unlocked the power of Roman numerals. With this newfound knowledge, you can appreciate the historical significance and apply it to various real-life scenarios. Roman numerals are not only intriguing, but also serve as a testament to the enduring legacy of ancient civilizations. I hope you enjoyed this journey through Roman numerals and feel confident in understanding this remarkable numeric system. If you found this video useful and helpful, and even enjoyed our exploration of Roman numerals, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more math-related content. If you have any questions or suggestions for future videos, feel free to leave them in the comments section below. Thank you for joining me today, and until next time, keep learning and keep exploring the fascinating world of math. See you in the next video.